If you've been on social media lately, you know there's a huge rumor going around about WWE. Now, Charlotte Flair, one of the faces of the company, is finally speaking out about it. In this video, we're going to be breaking down what she had to say, her direct response to the rumor, and what it can mean for the future of WWE. This is an update you need to hear. In 2025, Charlotte Flair continued to reign supreme in WWE. She entered the year as a dominant force by winning the Royal Rumble match, earning herself a championship opportunity at WrestleMania 41. Would she go after the Women's World title or the Women's Championship? Well, we all know by now, yes, she is slated to meet and likely dethrone Tiffany Stratton as our Women's Champion. That doesn't mean that Charlotte Flair hasn't faced her share of adversity. Obviously, she was sidelined for the entirety of 2024 due to a torn ACL, MCL, and a meniscus, something in which really changed her life, right? But regardless of that injury and time miss, she has remained a cornerstone of WWE this year, and she's about to solidify her legacy even more. In my opinion, she's already one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. Could she be the GOAT? Well, I think she needs to do a little bit more work, as I have Trish Stratus in that category. But regardless, Charlotte Flair is doing just fine, and she's going to be just fine throughout 2025. Now, Charlotte Flair has expressed her eagerness to participate in a potential Evolution 2. You know, that event that held in 2018, one of the better WWE pay-per-view events of that year. Well, WrestleVotes, PWN, they've all reported that WWE is planning for a second all-women's pay-per-view event this summer. When should you expect it? Well, it's looking like this premium live event is going to be taking place on July 5th from the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort in Hasselville, Connecticut. However, it's important to note that these plans remain preliminary, and sources have indicated that the schedule is subject to change, and the event is currently in the development phase, not necessarily a concrete phase. This uncertainty highlights the fluid nature of event planning within WWE. Now, the first event, well, it was held on October 28th, 2018 from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and it marked a major milestone for women's pro wrestling. It was a groundbreaking pay-per-view event, which featured a loaded lineup, including a main event of Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. But what stole the show was Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Do you remember that leg drop from Becky onto Charlotte? Yeah, that was pretty epic. Now, some people will say, well, they were given this because they were left off of the Saudi Arabia cards, because at the time, Saudis didn't want females because of their culture. Won't dive into that. But I can say this in an interview with the Daily Mail's Alex McCarthy, great dude, does great work. Flair conveyed her anticipation for the event, highlighting her desire to create another memorable match should WWE go forward with its rumored plans. What you have to say? Well, I can tell you right here. One of my favorite matches is from the first Evolution. Becky Lynch, the last woman standing, one of my top 3 favorite matches. There's always rumors that it's happening, so until it happens, I can't say yet because we don't know. Y'all are the ones with the scoop. No, I mean, I think it'd be great if we have it, but I still think the goal is to have more main events and more storylines and so on. The magic that I created on the first one, if it comes to fruition, I look forward to creating magic on Evolution 2. End quote. So that's what Charlotte had to say. I respect her comments. So what's next? Well, let's break it down. One of her favorite matches is from that event. I 100% agree. Going into that show, everyone and their dog not only knew what the main event was, the true main event, but what should be the true main event. And that was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, one of the better feuds in the history of WWE. Really, this was when, Becky had all the fans behind her and she was about to become the man, if not already, right? That was just a few months away before her and Charlotte and Ronda Rousey made history at WrestleMania, right? Epic stuff. They stole the show. They went out there and absolutely crushed it. If you haven't seen the match, highly recommend you go out there and do so now. But at the end of the day, it was Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. We all know why they did that. Number one, they wanted to always position Nikki Bella bigger than she was, but keep in mind on this. This is the weird part about Nikki Bella. Real quick rant. Nikki Bella is a big star. She's just a big star off WWE television, right? She's a big star within the reality landscape and the entertainment business and everything like that. She draws in those viewers. She changed the business because of Total Divas and Total Bellas and etc., right? So we all get that. We all understand that. But on WWE television, she was never the biggest star. Now, I think you have to look at what they were doing at the time, which was, Ronda Rousey was a big star. She had to really get uh, over, in my opinion. So at the time, they were trying to position her as the biggest star of all time, even though she was leaving just a few months later. But at the time, she was a very big star. She was the biggest star in the women's division. I get that. But at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch should have headlined. If they had the title, they would have. But I digress. Charlotte Flair wanting to go out there and make more magic. I think, and she's talked about this in the past, so I think I'm pretty accurate with saying this. It's like she was gone and she got to see all the progress that the women had made and all of these up and coming talent and all of these stars in which she could go out there and absolutely crush and have great matches. And then she was sidelined, and now she's really seen all these talents develop. All right. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why we're getting her and Tiffany Stratton. Or yes, we could have repeated it. We could have ran it back with Rhea and Charlotte. But where's the money at? Well, the money right now is in Rhea versus Charlotte, but I think they've done a decent job with Rhea in terms of the build-up. At least she's getting a match on the card. I don't know if I necessarily agree with how they went about it, but still, she's on the card. With Tiffany Stratton, she is going to be here for the next 10 years, and she's going to be the new Charlotte Flair, right? She looks that part, she adds the part. She's a great wrestler, or a superstar, I should say, right? Her character work is outstanding. And so if you look at it from WWE standpoint, if you look at it from Charlotte Flair's standpoint, you go, you know, I think if we put these two together, I think the bigger of the two is doing the Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton match because it's going to make Tiffany a bigger star. And in the long run, it's going to benefit WWE. It's going to benefit Tiffany Stratton more if she works with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, right? The rub, look, the ideology is like, okay, the rub leading into the match and the rub coming out of the match is going to be bigger than the defeat that she suffers, right? Because we all know that Charlotte Flair is going to go over, right? I don't think many of us are disagreeing with that, although or thinking otherwise. Now, would we disagree with it? Do we not think it's the right move? Absolutely, right there with you. I think Tiffany Stratton should go over. I don't think another title reign helps Charlotte Flair. I think she has defined herself as the women's GOAT in most people's eyes, right? I still hold Trish Stratus as that just because of the pioneering and everything that she's done for the business and the longevity and continuously reinventing herself and the longevity and everything like that. That's for another song. For another day. But what Charlotte Flair, she's one of the best ever. So, like, if she breaks the world title record, yay, she did it. But she's still leaps and bounds ahead of all the other women, right? And she's eventually going to get that reign. Should it come at the expense of Tiffany Stratton? Probably not, and that's where I stand there.